Jesus fucking Christ. DJ Killer Keemstar. I thought I could avoid him, I really did. I thought that I could go my entire channel life without really ever doing a video on Keemstar. I mean, I've had Keemstar cameos in my videos as jokes and stuff, where I've talked about Keemstar, but I've never done anything like this. I mean, goddamn, I'm an anti-SJW channel. Keemstar's not an SJW. If anything, he's the total opposite of an SJW. I hate him like I hate the regressives, but in another way. He's just another extreme of stupidity. But Keemstar deserves a spot on this list, because this Biggest Losers of 2016 list is not just a list of people that I think have failed in a sense in social justice, but also have failed in general in my life and how it affects me. There is the political side of my life. There's the the film fan side of my life. That's why I covered Ghostbusters, right? Then there's the YouTube side. I'm a YouTube fan like the rest of you. I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and like a lot of you, I really liked Baited. I liked Colossal's Crazy on there. I liked his the juxtaposition with him and Keemstar, the contrast between their two personalities and how they didn't agree. And, Tommy was okay being the little man. But still, I think a few episodes of Baited are some of the most entertaining podcasts I've ever listened to. It's really fun. It was great to hear a podcast where everybody didn't agree and they could have arguments and really get at things. And it was a great inside look at YouTube content creators, the drama behind YouTube, the pettiness, the egos. It gave us an insight to the Leafy and Grade A situation. And it made Keemstar come off like a better guy than he has in years. If anything, it legitimized Keemstar in a way that he hasn't had in a long time. Because after iDubbbz did his Keemstar video, Keemstar became a fucking joke. A meme at best. And I only talked about Keemstar or cared about Keemstar in that sense, that it was funny. But Baited came around and he actually came off like not a complete idiot, kind of funny, and sort of interesting. Now, Drama Alert's cancer content. I'm not sure why Clown likes it so much, but I mean, really is. Drama Alert to me is like the lowest tier of YouTube content. It's like Philip DeFranco knocked down a few pegs considerably. But the thing with Baited was that it came off like Keemstar was not only a good businessman with this show, but he was at least willing to let people come on and disagree with him. He was willing to have a show where he looked bad, where Clown in a sense baited him into overreacting to things. It was really fun, at least for the first half. Then once we got to the second half, or the third act or so of the Baited series, that's when everything started to go downhill. Keem's ego came back. This was evil Keemstar, and Ethan, H3H3, even was on an episode and brought this up, that Keem seemed really good now, but he was worried that evil Keem was going to return. Well, how right was he? Holy shit, did he call that? Because this is what happens every time Keem gets some kind of success or growth. This is why Leafy and Grade fucked him over. Partially because they're pieces of shit, but also because they want to get away from Keem. Because now we see this with Tommy and Clown. Because we'll get to that, but Tommy and Clown are no longer talking to Keem. But let's get through how Baited just basically fell apart. We didn't get a release of several episodes of Baited for weeks there. We didn't get a Scarce episode. We didn't get a post-Lion Maker interview episode. There was 3 or 4 episodes that they didn't release. And at first it just came off like, well, maybe they weren't very good shows. Clearly, though, after a point, it became clear it was Keemstar. That Keemstar didn't want these episodes released because of how he comes off in them. Because then we got the fucking Zoe Berger episode, which is the worst episode of Baited by far. She was a terrible guest. It was all this big scheme to just try to fuck with Clown, and it wasn't funny. And so we're not going to get these episodes where you talk about the Lion Maker interview, and we're not going to get this interview with Scarce because you tell me it's boring. Okay, I'll take that. Scarce is boring. But then you post a Zoe Berger interview where she's even more fucking boring than I could imagine Scarce ever could be. And that's saying something, because Scarce is fucking awful. But this became very weird, and I really didn't like that episode. But I thought, Baited will bounce back. Every episode's what it is. But Keem was praising the episode with Zoe Berger like it was the best Baited ever. And I listened to it. It was a goddamn train wreck. It was repetitive. The joke got played out way too early. Zoe had nothing to add to the whole thing. She was just a bad guest. If Keemstar had been attacking her more, it might have been fun. But the fact he teamed up with her to go against Clown made for a very poor episode of Baited. And just showed that Keem's butthurt was growing. And he wanted to be the established guy in the group. He wanted to be the main guy. So then we started hearing Baited was going to get shut down. And the rumors was because Keem said Clown wanted a pay increase. So then we found out the actual pay between the baited cast members was Keem got 50%, Clown got 30, and Tommy got 20. Now, Tommy got way more than he deserved because when Tommy came in, he didn't have any subscribers, any fan base to bring. Keem had a 1.5 million Drama Alert Nation people to bring in, and Clown was a very respected and growing YouTuber. So you get why they got a big split. Well, it turns out Clown was really just asking for a split three-way deal. He wanted everyone to make 33%, him, Tommy, and Keem. And he wanted this because he wanted to help Tommy out financially to help pay his bills and help his kids and stuff like that, right? So Clown really doesn't need the money. Clown comes from wealth. His father owns like a toy company, right? And Keem really doesn't need the money. Now, I get the idea. It's business, and you charge what you deserve to charge for what you bring to it. I get that idea. But Clown kind of had the idea that if Beta's going to really take off and be around for years, let's keep this going, but let's all be fair. Let's split this three ways and maybe give Tommy more of a say in this because Tommy did feel like he didn't want to speak up sometimes because he was afraid of getting fired. Well, Keem blew this the fuck up. Keem just went insane as Keemstar does. Wanted to fire Tommy. Clown revealed this later. So this just started a bunch of drama where Tommy's talking shit about Keem and then Keem's talking shit about Tommy and Clown. He blocks both of them on Twitter and officially ends Baited. Even there was about a week there they didn't know if Baited was officially going to be over or not. You know, they worked on it for a while and you know, they didn't know. We were questioning it. I didn't know if Baited was going to come back or not. And it was kind of exciting. It was like, oh, maybe they'll fix it and then they could talk about all the bullshit that happened. But Keem wasn't going to do that. So Baited is now officially over after it just came and went and it was this huge hit. And a part of me shocked it even lasted this long with Keem's ego. The guy clearly has some mental issues, and I wasn't confirmed on this, sure, you know, because I thought maybe Keem's just talking shit, maybe he's a troll, but Baited really showed that gnome is the real man. There isn't the Daniel Keem, the good guy in Keemstar. There's just Keemstar. He tries to play it up that his Twitter's a joke and then it's serious. No, Keemstar, you can't have it both ways. You're not funny at doing satire and you're not that good at being serious. You're just kind of a fucking idiot who has an ego the size of the flat earth that a lot of people believe we live on. And I'm just sick of fucking Keem. I hate Keemstar again. And I hate him even more now because I hated him and then he got me to like him again. And then he fucked me even harder. I'm done with Keemstar. And now his new Baited lineup is going to be him with Andy Milonakis. You know, that fat kid from the Man Show that's in his 40s. I actually have a friend who went to high school with Andy Milonakis. Very weird. And he said the chemistry is off the chain. And Tommy and Clown are going to start another podcast that I assume is going to be more of what they wanted Baited to be before Keemstar started to turn it into a complete disaster. So Keemstar has to go down as a loser for the fact that he had it all and blew it. He had a huge podcast, a hit, one of the biggest podcasts on iTunes, huge hit on YouTube, tons of subscribers. All he had to do was upload these podcasts weekly. But by not uploading several episodes, and Clown's not going to upload the last episode, the one they recorded that none of us have heard, the one after Zoe Berger, and Keem apparently comes off horrible in this episode. Just awful. But Clown, because Clown has some integrity, won't release this. He doesn't want to embarrass Keemstar, but Keem will keep going talking shit about Clown, I guarantee you, on the first episode of the new Baited podcast. For fuck's sakes. Honestly, I think Tommy and Clown are better off. I think they're going to have a much better show now. Hopefully they can bring in guests and actually have good interviews. I think the best episodes of Baited were the ones where they just talked like the H3H31 or when they talked about Joey Salads. I liked the train wreck runs when Keem yelled a lot, but after a point that got old fast because Keem clearly didn't have a lot of material. And it clearly started to frustrate everyone in the cast because Baited lost any kind of format or schedule. It was supposed to be uploaded weekly, and then we had to wait a goddamn month to get an episode, and it was shit. This is all Keem's fault. This is Keem's fault entirely. I will solely blame Keem. He was friends with Clown and fucked him over. He never really cared about Tommy, which is weird, because Tommy kissed his ass, really, on that podcast when he didn't have to. And now he's just a joke again, and he's going to do a podcast, and it'll probably do well. It'll probably be a hit, but it won't be what Baited was. And he'll always have that stay, and he'll always mock him about the time Keemstar fucked up this huge show that he had. It's not going to be better now, Keemstar. I know you're disillusioned about this. You think you're going to bring it back better than ever. But no, this is another Keemstar failure. And I should have just stuck with my gut feeling back when the Content Cop came out that this guy's a fucking whack job. So what do we say? Or why is Keemstar officially loser? Like I said, because he had everything. Keemstar was able to turn around his entire career on YouTube and get people on his side against Leafy and Grade, see that he was in the right in that situation. People started to like Keemstar again. He had a hit show. I mean, he was becoming a respected YouTuber again. He had his name again. And that was a big thing he wanted. Keemstar cares more about his reputation than money. And then now his reputation is back to the old Keemstar. So of course he's a fucking loser, because Keemstar, by being Keemstar, is the reason this happened. This wouldn't have happened with several other people. It had to happen with him because of who he is. And because of the way his mind works and how he has to have things. It's so funny. It's so ridiculous. The man is a joke. I hope Drama Alert Nation loses 500,000 subs in the coming year, even though it probably won't. I hope the new Baited podcast does poorly, or at least not as good as the original one. And I hope Tommy and Clown have a huge success, even though I think both of them could have handled the situation a little bit better. Two, still, the blame has to go on Keem, because Keem's been a problem here from the beginning, and we found out a lot of bullshit we didn't know from Baited the whole time. I mean, it really Keem was setting up this fake mirage of this idea of what Baited was behind the scenes, and it really wasn't true. It was always Keem, like we thought. It was just Keem being a pain in the ass. But, you know, you gotta give Keem credit. He helped Tommy get a lot of subscribers in a lot of ways, because Tommy got notoriety from Baited, and it certainly helped us get Clown content when Clown didn't upload videos. And, yeah, we still have those podcasts we can go back to listen to for fun, but they're not the same for me anymore. Because now I know Keem always had ulterior motives, and he was always up to these schemes and shit. It just pisses me off, the rat. The disgusting little rat creature that he is. So Keem's a big fucking loser. One of the biggest losers of YouTube. He's even a bigger loser than Joey Salads and FouseyTube and those guys who've just become complete jokes. Because Joey Salads is just going to go back to making his videos, getting millions of hits, and nobody's going to give a fuck. Because as much as you expose someone, nobody cares. But the people who listen to Keem shit and watch Baited and liked Keem, they're going to turn on him. Of course they are. They're going to turn on him immediately, and they already have. Keem's already a fucking joke again. He's already turned into disaster Keem. How long is this Baited lineup going to last? I mean, you never know if the podcast is going to last with Keem, because Keem can't work with people. So, biggest YouTube loser, in my opinion, Keemstar. Seriously. Because when you have it all and then you lose it, I consider you even a bigger loser, because that really reflects you as a person. That you had the capabilities to get there and then fucked it up. It's hard for me to criticize Joey Salads, because what did he have to do? He just was faking content. His stuff was easy. Keemstar had to change his entire reputation on this website. Everyone hated him, and spin it into some kind of positive. And he did that with Baited. You know, he did that somewhat with Baited. He did that with the people he picked and how he formatted that show. It was a very good idea. It's a good idea that was destroyed by DJ Killer Keemstar. So fuck Drama Alert Nation. Fuck the new Baited lineup, even though Andy Melanakis is, you know, seems like a cool enough guy. I can't remember the YouTuber that's on there with them. Sorry, somebody in the comments tell me, but yeah, they have some fucking YouTuber there with them. And, you know, we'll see how this plays out over the next few months. And, that's all I really got to say about it. What do you guys feel about Keemstar? What do you feel about the Baited situation? Do you think Keem's a loser? Are you going to listen to the new podcast? And or did you always think Keemstar was an asshole even when Baited was on? Did he ever win you back over like he did me? Let me know. Until next time, this is the Patriarchy. Like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, go fuck yourselves, especially Keemstar.